Mhm. Hmm. So we might have to inform Nidhi ji. She wants to come.
I think Dinesh Purad said he was also going to join, I believe.
Dinesh Purad, I don't know if he's coming. Let us see 1 second here. नमो अरिहन्ताणं नमो सिद्धाणं नमो आयर्याणं नमो उवचायाणं नमो लोये सवसाहूणम्. जय जिनेन्द्र सभी को. Today we will do 4 Gandhars that are left, and then maybe there will be one more left which we can finish either next week or via messaging. Uh, Now, as far as who wants to go first?
Whoever you ask.
Auntie, before we start, I just wanted to mention one thing. जब मैं निमित उपादान का पढ़ रहा था, so I finished reading the whole thing and I made all the notes. और end में वो दोहे, right? The poems है दोनों. One is from Banarasidas and one is Bhaiya somebody. So
Yes.
that was a very interesting way that they phrase those things. So we don't have to do it now, but maybe next class, maybe we can spend some time discussing that. Maybe I missed it in the last class. I'm not sure. The class I
No, actually, we may not have gone over them. So actually, usually they're not in the syllabus, but it doesn't matter. We can still
Yeah,
go
so
ahead
I
and
was
read
thinking
them.
maybe after Amit, because Amit is presenting Nimit Upadan. So maybe after he presents that, I would like to discuss
Ah,
that in the context of Nimit Upadan, because I found the way that they presented was very interesting, and I just wanted to clarify
okay.
some doubts. So
Yeah, we can do that.
yeah,
Not a problem.
okay.
I was thinking, uh, Dipali was making a lot of notes on Nimit Upadan, right? So I thought she would do that too.
I I did, but it's okay. I mean, Amit is presenting it. I have too
Yeah,
many
yeah.
notes, so
If
I
you have
think
something to add, go right ahead after his
yeah,
presentation. But
yeah, sure. I can definitely add because I did read that book quite in depth, and I yes, you're right. I made a lot of notes.
yeah.
Sure, yeah.
So Dinesh, go ahead. You introduce your topic, and then go right
Okay,
ahead.
sure. So I'm going to just be presenting my notes about this is chapter 2 in Tattva Dhyan Pathmala 1, errors regarding the 7 tattvas, Sat Tattva Sambandhi Bhul, based on the work of Pandit Todar Malji. And this comes from the 7th chapter of Moksha Marga Prakashak, which I just got the copy fresh from India. So yeah,
Yeah,
actually, I
actually,
a
it's a
semester.
very interesting, it's a very
Yeah.
important chapter, and it goes, of course, in lot more detail. In fact, in semester 8,
Hmm.
I am just teaching that chapter 7. So
Okay. Yeah, no, it's a very big book. So anyway, so okay, so I'll start. Basically, the reason this topic is so important is that the right experiential understanding is critical, and they call that bhava bhashan. And without any contrary beliefs or abhinivesh.
Nivesh, yes.
So without right experiential understanding, samyak darshan is not possible. And samyak darshan is the first step to moksha. And what I found I've highlighted in my own notes here the word experiential understanding. So this is not academic understanding. This is experiential understanding. You must really get that atmanubhuti about these things. It's not just reading the book. So anyways, so the first bhul is errors related to jeev and ajeev. So the student or the sadhak, whatever, may understand various facts like tras and stavar jeev, gunastan, etc. But he or she, I'll just say he, but he does not recognize the factual statements that lead to bhed vidyan or vitaraga dasha. And he may understand those latter things according only to scriptures. He has a false sense of belonging to the attributes to the soul, of the soul, knowledge, etc., and the attributes of the body. He does not experience the soul as distinct from the body, and he speaks of the body and soul as if they are someone else's. And he does not realize that Pudgal is the nimit or instrumental cause in the action of Jeev, and that Jeev is the instrumental cause or the nimit in the action of matter. So those are these sort of fundamental errors that is made in terms of the first two Jeev and Ajivas, the first two tattvas. Then errors related to ashrav or asrav. So she considers papashrav as heya, but punyashrav as upadeya, even though both of them are undesirable. So this is a very big rule that is made by many people. So that this has been repeated many times in our studies so far. There was a good quote from the chapter: as long as one remains detached and a knower/seer, there is no bondage. That is desirable. Until such a state is not attained, remain engaged in auspicious attachment. So we've also covered this in our studies that, TK, we know that punyashrav is not desirable, but until you get to a certain stage, it's better to have punyashrav than anything else, than to have papashrav. However, even if you're engaged in auspicious attachment, you must have faith that even this auspicious attachment is to be renounced. So even though if you do not perceive that directly yet with the soul, you don't have that anubhuti of the soul, at least theoretically you can understand and accept that even that is something to be, that is heya, that is to be given up. She fails to recognize intrinsic ashrav, only recognizes external forms. For example, she only recognizes grahit mithyatva and not agrahit, recognizes external violence as non-restraint or avirati, but does not understand the roots of this violence in pramad or negligent disposition, and the root of sensual indulgence in abhilasha, desire. So not getting into the depth of where these things are originating. She recognizes only external anger and emotions as kashai, not the rag and dvesh, which are the foundation of all the kashai. So again, it's a more shallow understanding as opposed to a deeper understanding of the primary fundamental causes. And she does not recognize the power of the subtle vibration actions of the inner soul, only considers external endeavors as actions. So even these subtle vibratory things are actually actions, but we think of it just as our external actions. So again, very fine distinctions. So true ashrav is because of the internal bhav of rag and dvesh. So the fundamental cause of all karmic influx is these fundamental kashais of rag and dvesh, not because of sort of external things. So that's the second bhul. The third bhul is errors related to bandha. So the sadhak considers papashrav as heya, but punyashrav as upadeya, even though both are undesirable. And he believes that the distinction between punya and pap applies only to aghati or non-destructive karmas, because ghati or destructive karmas are always papi. So even though during auspicious disposition, destructive karmas are still bound. So that's errors related to bandha. And then errors related to samban. So the sadhak considers punyashrava as samban. And of course, we've said this a few times now. Punyashrav is still bondage, it's still bandha. So this is wrong. And this is a fundamental misconception that by doing charitable acts or doing worship and this like that, you're getting punya, and that's a good thing. Yes, in the vyavahar sense, it's important, but in nishtay, you are still creating bondage. Samvar, so this was actually a bigger chapter. Like this was quite a bit of detail involved in samvar. because this is now the stoppage of karmic influx. So samvar is caused by three things. No, more than three things. It's caused by gupti, restraint, samiti, which is carefulness, dharma or righteousness, anupreksha, contemplation, parishahajay or conquest of inner afflictions, and charitra, righteous conduct. So getting in a little more detail with those ones. So Gupti, the mistake that is made is that he believes that Gupti is avoiding sinful thoughts, observing silence, refraining from physical movements. So again, these are like external things, not just physical, because you're talking also about even mental, right? Mental and physical things. But he ignores the fact that even something like devotion gives rise to punyashrava, it gives rise to auspicious attachment. So again, I highlighted that in my notes. So the whole world considers devotion to be a desirable thing, to be upadeya, but really it is heya. So there's some really key things in here to really reflect on. So true samvar is complete vitarag bhav, no activities of mind, speech, or body. And samiti, in true samiti, a person may have the subtlest of attachment, and there are activities like movement, etc. But in the absence of deep attachment, there is no tendency towards pramad or negligence, and no suffering is caused to other beings for their own purposes. So genuine compassion arises on its own. You don't have to instill a sense of compassion in yourself. That is a natural outcome of observing the samiti. So another part of this error, this bhul, is that out of the fear of bondage or desire for heaven or liberation, he or she refrains from anger, etc. But the inner intent, the inner sort of substrate behind that anger, it's called abhipraya, is not truly eliminated. So it's related to, we're talking also about, okay, I'm forgetting the words, but anyway, it's fine. But so refraining from anger and anger not arising are two very different things. And that's what this is getting at here. And then an important sentence here is, when through Tattva Dhyan, objects no longer appear desirable or undesirable, then no kashayas arise, and then Sat Dharma is manifested. So reflecting on impermanence or anityata, the person sees the body and such things as undesirable and becomes introverted, anupreksha. But even though these things, they're very subtle because they seem like they're all very good things to be. We should become introverted, we become, reflecting impermanence. But that detachment is actually a dvesh. It's actually of the nature of aversion, because you're now seeing the body's undesirable as opposed to being completely neutral. The body's not good or bad. But so it reminds me sometimes, like I know that, for example, the Buddhist monks have a certain meditation where they meditate on the stages of a corpse. So they reflect on the decomposing body, a freshly dead body, then after a day and after 3 days and after 5 days, and how that corpse decomposes and how disgusting it becomes to rid themselves of that body consciousness and the attachment to the body. So it works to a certain extent, but they're also creating dvesh, which is not desirable. So I thought that was very interesting. So true detachment, or udasinata, lies in recognizing the true nature of things, perceiving good without developing attachment, perceiving the bad without developing aversion. So that's a very important sentence, where you can recognize good and bad, but you do not have any feelings, no bhav arises when you're looking at that. Rag or dvesh, right? When hunger, etc., arises, one considers not making efforts to remove them as parishahajai, conquest over afflictions. But internally, it doesn't mean anything if internally the mind remains afflicted with suffering. So this gets into, Jains are famous for their tapasya, and doing all fast and all these things. And it's great. It's much more than I can do. But if the mind is afflicted with suffering, you're not really getting benefit from that. And in fact, you're just torturing the body. So to remain unaffected, neither happy with favorable nor unhappy with unfavorable circumstances, to be the knower and the seer, jnata, drashta, is true parishahajai. And in the Tattvat Sutra, both Anuvrat and Mahavrat are described as forms of asrava. so they cannot be considered upadaya. So this is kind of like again, it will come as a surprise to Jains, saying, oh, Anuvrat and Mahavrat are also, they're also something to be given up. Again, very subtle concepts. Again, also they cannot be classified as conduct since they are causes of bondage. True charitra is the state of indifferent equanimity, udasina bhava, completely free from kashai. So again, worth reflecting on that. Even we talk so much about anuvrat and mahavrat, but without the right mental attitude, those also become the causes of bondage. And then the errors associated with nirjara tattva. So the person, she does not understand the detached form of austerities and believes external austerity to be the real austerity and the cause of nirjara. So that's pretty simple to understand. And does not understand that shuddha bhava or pure dispositions are the real cause of nirjara. And that auspicious dispositions still cause bondage. So we've already talked about that, shubha bhav. So shubha bhav is to be avoided. Shuddha bhav is to be sought.
Yeah.
And then finally, errors associated with moksha tattva. So he considers happiness of moksha and swarga to be the same. Considers the causes of moksha and swarga to be the same, whereas swarga is reached by virtuous dispositions and moksha is reached by pure dispositions. That's the difference between shubha bhav and shuddha bhav. So yeah, I mean, we covered this originally, like I mean, I like how the class progresses because we covered it at a very basic level and then a deeper level, and I'm sure we will get into this at an even more deep level. But a lot of things to reflect on and think about, and really makes you think, challenges a lot of fundamentals that we have grown up with and we are aware of. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, also puts thing in the right perspective. Everything that is followed in Vyavahar, in different parampara, is not all completely wrong. It's the intent behind it. It's the general aptitude, what is not correct, because unfortunately, they haven't understood it properly. I mean, they're kind of following what should naturally happen as a kriya, and versus it's supposed to go the other way around.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
anyway,
I like this a lot because, when I'm reading all these things and we study again and again, it's like the light bulbs go off because we know these things, but there's such a subtle level of detail that you don't really think of it in that way. Those thoughts may have come, but the way that it's expressed, it's almost like I said, it's like a light bulb going off saying, oh yeah, of course, that is actually also rag, that is also dvesh, so
right.
yeah, very, very nice.
So, okay. So now you covered the chapter fairly good in a summary form, of course, but let's see. Your first question. Okay, you said in the Jiva Jeev ki bhool, that Jeev is nimit for Pudgal and Pudgal is nimit for Jeev. So give me a couple of examples of that.
Pudgal is the nimit in the action of Jeev. So the actions that we take as embodied beings, right? We are Jeev. I mean, really anything we do, whether it's standing on the floor, we're standing on Pudgal, whether we're driving a car, whether we're walking up the stairs, whether anything we do.
No. Jeev is not embodied Jeev. No.
Then Jeev is right. Jeev is the Atma. So Jeev is the. So I mean, maybe I'm not understanding your question.
Right. So think about this. It says Pudgal. What Pudgal is it talking about? Your body is a Pudgal.
Right.
Okay, so that is the whole point they're making is Jiva Jeev ki bhool is that you're taking this whole package as Jeev, which it is not.
Right. So Jeev is, of course, your Atma.
So what you see is Pudgal.
Yeah.
What you don't see is the Jeev.
जैसे माँ है, पिता है.
नहीं. हम सब जो बॉडी पार्ट जो हमको दिखता है वो पुद्गल है. हम पुद्गल को ही देख पाते हैं.
Yeah.
आत्मा को तो एक्सपीरियंस कर सकते हैं. वो इंद्रियों से जानने वाली चीज नहीं है. राइट. सो अब फिर भी कहा कि वो निमित्त है, तो कैसे? कर्मों का उदय हमारे भावों में निमित्त बन सकता है, राइट? आपको निमित्त कोई कर्म का उदय आया जिससे आपको कोई संयोग मिला, किसी ने आपकी इंसल्ट कर दी, वो निमित्त बनेगा। अगर आपको राग है तो क्रोध आने में निमित्त बन सकता है। और क्रोध कहाँ से उत्पन्न होता है? जीव में से।
जीव
क्रोध तो
से।
पुद्गल नहीं है, राइट? सो
Mhm.
दैट एंड देन
And
सेम
Pudgal
थिंग।
is also things like speech, for example, it's also Pudgal, right?
यस, दैट इज आल्सो
Um,
पुद्गल।
right.
यस। सो
So somebody says something
आपने
bad to you, and
भाव
that creates.
किया कि मुझे बोलना है, मुझे समरी करनी, मुझे
Mhm.
कंधर करना है, राइट? और काम किसने किया?
पुद्गल में।
हम्म।
भाषा,
स्पीच इज यू।
speech. Yeah. Just the body is the means.
Yes, but they're still separate. There's
Of
two
course.
things happening here at the same time, right? जीव आत्मा is doing the भाव कि मैं ये कर रहा हूं गंधर, पर वो निमित्त बन रहा है आपके एक्शन में। जो मुंह बोल रहा है, जो भाषा वर्गणा के पुद्गल ट्रांसफॉर्म हो रहे हैं स्पीच में,
Right.
तो वो पुद्गल कर रहा है।
Yeah.
But Jeev is just being a nimitt because Jeev did the bhav that I want to do this now.
Yeah. Like मुंह डिसाइड नहीं कर सकता है कि मुझे गंधर्व वाचन करना है। ये तो जीव ही डिसाइड कर सकता है कि
Right.
गंधर्व वाचन करना है, एंड देन दिस इज जस्ट ए मींस ऑफ स्पीकिंग, भाषा।
Right. और ये जो सारी प्रक्रिया चल रही है उसका जीव सिर्फ ज्ञाता दृष्टा है।
ज्ञाता था।
जीव आपके मुंह को जबरदस्ती चला के बुलवा भी नहीं सकता है, वो सिर्फ भाव कर सकता है। वो उसका भाव is present there. Whether you will be able to talk or not, or what will happen, depends on other factors कि आपकी उस टाइम स्पीच निकली, सही निकली, नहीं निकली, गलत निकली, जो भाव सोचा था वो नहीं निकला। And we have all experienced that. Yeah, you go and make a presentation, and sometimes somehow the right words don't come out, even though you had practiced so much.
Mhm. So, Andy, how is Jeev in Nimit in the action of Pudgal?
So remember the definition of nimit? It is just present there.
Right.
Cannot force anything to do. So जो जीव ने भाव किया कि आज मेरी गंधर की तैयारी है, आज मैं प्रेजेंट करूंगा, सो इट बिकेम निमित्त बिकॉज वो भाव था, तो आज प्रेजेंट हो गया। और प्रेजेंटर तो उद्गल है।
Mhm.
Same way, even though each one is doing their own job, nobody is forcing each other.
Mhm.
They just happen to be happening at the same time. So that is why Jeev is called Nimit for Pudgal to speak.
Okay.
Now, Jeev is doing Krodh, right? उसमें कर्म का उदय became निमित्त। कर्म के उदय से बेटे ने कार जोर से एक्सीडेंट करके खराब कर दी, और पेरेंट्स ने मना किया था कार मत लेके जाओ, फिर भी वो चुपके से लेके गया और एक्सीडेंट कर दिया,
Mhm.
राइट? तो आपको असाता का उदय आया। असाता को उदय में क्या हुआ? फिजिकल कर्म पार्टिकल्स आर लीविंग द आत्मा।
Mhm.
बट दैट अस द टाइप ऑफ कर्मा असाता का उदय gave you the संयोग, and in turn the jeev did the krodh. Still, neither one of them forced each other to do anything. Two things happening at the same time.
Mhm.
But Pudgal became Nimit in Jeev's bhav.
It's very
Okay?
subtle.
It's very subtle, and that's why if we don't understand it the way it is, then we are following Mithya Manyata.
Mhm.
क्योंकि अनादि से तो हम यही भूल करते आ रहे हैं।
Mhm.
जो भी पर्याय में जन्म ले लिया, अभी हम मनुष्य पर्याय में है, कल क्या पता हाथी पर्याय में हो जाए, हो सकता है पिछले जन्म में बिल्ली की पर्याय में थे। तो जिस शरीर में हम चले गए उसी को मैं समझ लिया। तो वहां वो जीव अजीव की हुई हुई।
Okay.
ओके, अब लेट्स सी। सो संवर में तो गुप्ती समिति ये सारी चीजें किसको होती है?
ये सब होती है अम, जीव को, आत्मा को।
किस भूमिका में?
किस भूमिका में?
आत्मा की कौन सी पर्याय?
शरीर।
हम्म जब आत्मा छठे गुण स्थान, उसके पहले तो गुप्ती समिति नहीं होती है,
Oh, I see. Okay. Gupti
राइट?
Samiti can only
हमने
start
गुण
happening
स्थान
in
का भी
sixth gunas.
चैप्टर पढ़ा था।
हाँ,
एंड
तो
गुण
that
स्थान इज द स्टेट ऑफ आत्मा। फिजिकली यस, मुनिराज की भूमिका,
Mhm.
पर आत्मा सिक्स्थ गुण स्थान में है,
Okay.
बिकॉज इट is going to be able to do these things. And when do you come to sixth gun san?
After you've taken Diksha. After
After
Samyak Darshan, and you become a Bhavalingi Sadhu. So what that means, the conclusion of that then is that you cannot have Samvar until you reach sixth Gunastan, until you've actually become a Muni.
Mm-hmm.
Like not full Samvar. I mean, you may slow down,
Right.
maybe Ashram or something,
So,
but you cannot have
right,
Samvar
right, right.
until that stage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So वो आत्मा की ही सर्टेन पर्याय में संवर पॉसिबल है, राइट? ओके, अब हम प्रैक्टिस रूप से कर सकते हैं, पर हम रियल संवर नहीं कर सकते अंटिल यू हैव समय दर्शन, राइट? ओके, अब तप निर्जरा के उसमें आपने पढ़ा कि बाह्य क्रिया में ही वो लीन है, पर वीतराग भाव रूप तप को तो जानता ही नहीं है। तो व्हाट इज वीतराग भाव रूप तप?
I mean, English myth, I have it as the detached form of austerity. So, like doing austerity, like without any,
Attachment to the.
like without sort of, I don't know how to explain it. So let's say if you're doing tap, you're doing upas, right? So the bahya tap is the physical act of not eating food, right? And internally you still may be hungry, you may be craving the food, all those things. But vitaragta bhavatap is like the desire does not arise. And so it's a natural form of austerity. That austerity happens naturally without
Right.
any forcing, any control.
No, actually, that's not completely correct. Here, Vitrag Bhav Roop Tap. So they're saying Tap, Vitrag Bhav in itself is a Tap.
Okay.
So if it is not coming across that way in English, then we need to correct the wording. So basically, Vitrag Bhav matlab kya?
Vitarag bhav is like absence of all kashai, right? No rag and no dvesh.
No, Vitrag Bhav means that they know everything. राइट? वीतरागता में वो सब जान सकते हैं अरियंत प्रभु का क्या तप है, वो सब देख सकते हैं, पास्ट प्रेजेंट फ्यूचर, येट दे डोंट रिएक्ट बिकॉज देयर इज नो राग भाव. दैट इज द तप.
So that itself is a tap
That itself
of entering into that bhav.
Right, exactly.
I see.
सर्वज्ञ होने के बावजूद वितरागी रहते हैं।
हाँ, वो कैसे रह सकते हैं? तो that is their tap. That is the
So
ultimate.
basically, it's a natural tap. Once you have entered into
Right.
vitarag bhav, even if
Right.
it's for a fraction of a second, right? You are doing natural tap,
Right.
and that tap, I mean, in that nirjara is happening. The karma is being shed.
So वो देखो अरियंत लेवल पे तो कंप्लीट हो जाता है, उसके पहले भी when you do no reaction. So for example, जैसे क्रोध का मैंने एग्जांपल आपको दिया, राइट? आपको कर्म हैज द कैपेसिटी टू गिव संयोग. उदय आया, आपके बेटे ने कार तोड़ दी. नाउ व्हाट गिव्स यू द क्रोध?
Your own kashai.
Why it came? Yeah, we're trying to analyze it here.
I mean, why it came? Where does the kashai come from? I mean, this is your.
Kashai is growth, right?
Yeah. That this is your.
Why did you
This
get
is your.
angry?
It's your
The neighbor's son also destroyed his car. Were you angry?
Yeah, it's the sense of ownership, right? And believing
Right.
that
So
son is yours, the
even
car is yours.
today, if karma can give you sanyog, right? You can get uday and you will get sanyog. Whether to react or not is your choice.
Right.
Whether to have the rag bhav or not is your choice.
Yeah, and that is all getting to the fundamental point of not being a doer, not being, and the doerness is also owning, having that sense of ownership that this is mine, you know. It really, a lot of it boils down to
That
that.
attachment towards the car, that my car now
My
is
car, my son.
destroyed and my
My
whatever is
position.
gonna right. Now my son, I'm so attached. What if something had happened to him? So all that is what causes the reaction.
Right, because you read about something in the paper and something happens, you don't really care. Oh, okay, it's done, right?
Right.
अभी
So
यूक्रेन में इतना वॉर हो रहा है तो हमको उससे इतना
हम क्या
तकलीफ
कर
नहीं
रहे हैं? हम
होती है
बैठ के खा रहे हैं, पी रहे हैं, नाश्ता कर रहे हैं, हमें तो कुछ नहीं फर्क पड़ रहा।
या पर वही अगर भारत में होगा तो हम उसकी फिक्र करेंगे क्योंकि हमारे
थोड़ा
अपने
फिक्र
लोग हैं
करेंगे
वहां
क्या?
पे
So you're saying that if in that situation, it is your car and your son or daughter or whatever, if you can achieve vitarag bhav, even for a fraction of a second, ki this is not, nothing has nothing to do with me,
Yeah.
then that itself becomes a natural tap.
Yes. So basically what they're saying is कि don't think कि अब हमने कर्म बांध लिए वो तो हमें भोगने ही पड़ेंगे। No. वो उदय देंगे, आप रिएक्ट मत करो, नहीं भोगा आपने।
Right. You have control over your reaction.
You have control over your own destiny.
Yeah. Okay. Very good.
So and this whole understanding is part and parcel, because when you know, as you understand the tattva, as you understand the way things work, as you understand the vastu swarup, so you cannot, in Hindi they call it, you cannot change the paristhiti. Your circumstances will happen, will come. You can change your manasthiti.
yes
And changing your manasthiti is what is going to get you the peace and calm and no stress and all that. And changing the manasthiti will happen with the true understanding of nature of things.
right. I don't know if other people, but I do find having difficulty connecting the Sat Tattva with different aspects like Gunastan or, like, okay, ye Gunas, yahan pe aise agar nirjara
They're
hai,
two
to fir,
separate things. They're
हाँ,
two separate things, right?
yeah,
Sat Tattva is the understanding of Jeev, Pudgal, how the karms come, how they get bondage to the Atma, all that. Gunasthan is just an explanation of what stage your Atma is. So
right.
they're in some ways kind of not connected, if that's what you're trying to do.
Okay.
Okay.
Slowly connect ho raha hai. But it will take time.
I mean, it's just in, okay, so see, when we studied whatever subjects we studied for our professions, whether it is computers, business, whatever the case may be, right? How many years we spent?
Yeah.
Kindergarten to college to masters to whatever it is that we did, right? And slowly from ABCs to words to whatever, everything all started getting all gelling together.
Yeah.
And still we may not be perfect in whatever it is our fields are.
So we have to have patience. Yeah.
And we should not expect things in the first year. Like, we are kind of in the
Yeah, you
nursery.
shouldn't. Yeah. I mean, and that is, you've spent 16, 20, whatever years. Now, we have done the opposite of what you should have understood as Vastu ka Swarup for Anadikal, from Anadi Bhava.
Yeah.
And we think we're going to be able to reverse that in few seconds.
In one semester. So patience, and we have to keep at it consistently.
Keep at it. Keep at it is the word, right?
Yeah.
And be उसको बोलते हैं तत्व पिपासु, right? Be the jigyasu, be the researcher, be the
Speculative.
exactly, yes. So and make it worthwhile that it is important to spend time on this. This is ये तो भवो भवो की चेंज की बात है.
Anadi.
या कल हमारी आंख बंद हो गई तो who cares about how big of a doctor you are or how big of an engineer, whatever it is you are, doesn't matter. पर अगर ये आप पीस और काम लेके चले गए तो आपका भव सुधर सकता है. राइट हो सकता है नरक जाने की जगह कहीं बेटर गति में चले जाओ जहां you get more opportunities to further advance your soul. So chalo, let's do Arunji first and then come back to Dipali. So okay, Arunji, you go.
Sure. So I think I'll share my screen. Let me
Okay.
just go here. Okay. Wait a minute.
I think आपको कुछ पांच भाव सोच रहे थे.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Panch Bhav I'm talking about actually. So
Mhm.
like I did last time, I had to put my thoughts in a find it difficult otherwise because there are a lot of threads that are running and just to pull them together in one place. I tried this. So
Mhm.
this is chapter number 6, I think, in Tattva-gyan. Just trying to see here.
In the first book.
Yeah, in the first book, Panchabhav.
Mhm.
So, so Panchbhav, this is based on chapter 2 of Jeev Adhikar by Acharya Umaswamy. And he explains that while soul is one and permanent, it appears in 5 functional states called Panchbhav.
Mhm.
The first bhav, according to them, is Apshamik bhav. So this state arises due to suppression of karmas. Karmas are suppressed, which is what is meaning of upsham, not destroyed. It basically some of the attributes are inner calm, purity, and restraint, which manifests itself. But then it is temporary. Temporary passionlessness, kashay kshin ho jate hain, calmness aa jati hai. But this state is unstable. So all these states have been explained on a time horizon as well. So it's important to note that suppressed karmas can rise again. And typically this state will last less than one antarmurat, which is 48 minutes. So highly unstable. The second bhav that is explained is Kshay bhav. This state arises due to destruction of karmas, which is what we want. Now, Kshay karmas are permanently destroys, qualities appear forever. So it has a beginning, but it does not have an end. So it's different than Apshamik bhav. Once it appears, it's permanent. Some of the examples are Keval Gyan, Moksha, infinite knowledge, bliss, power. And this is ideal and irreversible state, has a beginning but no end. So, Baji, one of the things I found is the couple of inconsistencies as we go along in the presentation. So I kind of put them in the red, so maybe we can chat about it, which I found in the text, which maybe I was wrong, but it didn't make sense to me, so we can chat about it. The third is Kshayab Samik Bhav, which is a mixed state, partial destruction, partial suppression of karma. So, so as I said, some karma is destroyed, remaining karmas are suppressed. Most spiritual progress happens here. So some of the examples is Mati Gyan, Shuddh Gyan, partial self-restraint, right belief with mild passion, Shina Kashaya.
Mhm.
And this is the most common states for all the sadhaks. And as we go forward, we'll see what is the permanency or what gunstan this belongs to, how long does it last, what are some of the attributes or जिसको बोला है प्रकार या भेद इसके क्या क्या है वो हम we'll see in the
Mhm.
upcoming slides. Odoik bhav is its state due to rise uday of karmas. So karmas will actively start to give results, can lead to all those worldly things like pleasure, pain, delusion, passions, anger, pride, deceit. Everything that happens in worldly is because of Odoik bhav. And this is a bondage dominated stage because your karmic bondage is actually in full display here. The fifth one is parinamic bhav. Now, this has got nothing to do with karmas. It's the natural intrinsic state of the soul. It always exists regardless of the karma, independent of bondage or liberation. And this bhav never changes. Okay,
Mhm.
this is permanent. And this is the bhav actually one should be to start getting to Aupshamik and Kshayik bhav in terms of progression. I found this table, which I thought was interesting, where we can sort of discuss it as we go along. So, Aupshemic causes suppression of the karma. The nature is calm and pure. Stability is temporary, as we talked about. Shaik results from destruction of the karma, is the perfect state. It is permanent. Once it comes, it doesn't go away. Kshaik Samik is mixed. It's progressive. As we said, it belongs to all the sadhaks. It's kind of semi-stable, and we'll see what that means. Hopefully, I understand it fully. If not, we can chat about it. Audhoic is karma rises, represents bondage, and stability is variable. Parinamic is the intrinsic nature of the soul. It's eternal, and in terms of stability, is permanent. So I thought that was a nice kind of summary I found, which is kind of useful to put an overview.
So wait, you have Adaik mein karma bondage. That is not necessarily. Adaik means the karma is coming into Uday and giving phal. Bondage depends what you do.
So we can say karmic fruition, right?
Right. And then Kshaik is perfect only for that particular type and amount of karma. It's not like a perfect Atma if you don't want to kind of
This
miss it.
belongs to Gunstan 13 and 14, right? So would you not call that perfect or near perfect?
For example, like if I can just add, like when you say Kshaik, we say that Lob is the last one to go in 10th Kunastan, but other Kashais can be completely destroyed in previous
So
Gunas,
you want to say destruction of all karmas.
but they're individual Kashais, right? Like it's not all
Right.
together that they're being destroyed.
Destruction of at least the ghati, because the ones that are
Yeah,
jo
so
soni
moment
ke gun
you
ko nahi aane.
destroy all Ghati karmas, you're already at the 13th Gunstan, right?
Right.
Would you
So
not call that
destruction
perfect?
of
That's the
all
question.
ghati. You want to say the ghati karmas.
Ghati and Aghati also, right? It
No,
could be.
aghati, because until you have the body,
Mhm.
which is there in the 13th Gunistan,
Okay. So you're okay with the rest of the?
aghati are still there.
Okay. All right. Moving along. The next one. So I've gone into more detail about each one of those bhavas in terms of how long they last, what are the key benefits of knowing them, and what is their relevance, and all that, and some of the subdivisions within each of those bhavas. Not that I fully understand it, but we'll chat about it, and hopefully we can throw some light as we chat. So in Aupshamik Bhav, belief deluding, darshan mohniya, and conduct deluding, charitra mohniya, karma becomes inactive and incapable of producing their effects due to suppression of the karmas. Now, this bhav has a beginning and an end. It lasts, as we discussed before, less than one antarmuhurt, which is less than 48 minutes. So it's temporarily unstable. The the number of people lowest in number are the individuals with opshemic bhav because it includes only jiva with opshemic samyak and opshemic charitra. Because as also we said, it's only temporary, last for a period less than 48 minutes. So least number of people belong to this bhav. And the they talk about Vedas or subdivisions of each bhav, which the number of subdivisions for each of those bhavs. For this one is Opshemic bhav, Opshemic Samyak, and Opshemic Charit. So those are the two subdivisions of this bhav.
So right. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Shaik bhav, it has a beginning but no end. So I think it was the Hindi word was Sadi Anant, if I remember correctly. Kashayik bhav has a duration of Sadi Anant with beginning but no end. But the text goes on to say is limited to 33 sagar. So I'm wondering if it has no end, why is there is a time limit? So is there an inconsistency?
Where is that? If you can
It's
point out to
in
where
the
it
book,
is.
actually. It's
Because I'm looking at the Shaik Bhav that they only have 2-3 lines in there, but then where is this 33 sagar?
Let's see. Shaik bhav.
Because when I was saying that Shaik Bhav in terms of क्षयिक सम्यक्त्व भी होता है ना,
जी
तो वहां पे सब कर्मों का क्षय नहीं हुआ है.
It's the Hindi book I'm looking at. Yeah, it's page 42 of the Hindi book. शायिक भाव सादी अनंत है और संसार में रहने की अपेक्षा से उत्कृष्ट काल 33 सागर से कुछ अधिक काल कहा है.
Mm.
I can check if the English
Okay,
text
also,
is
okay, but you said Shaik Bhav also, it says only for 13th and 14th Gunistan, right?
Yeah.
I'm trying to wonder if they're saying that is the
Is that the longest period of time they
Shaik
will
Bhav, huh?
spend in Gunistan
In the-
13, 14?
Right, that's what I'm wondering.
Okay.
So,
Sorry, what's the question?
the question is that how long is why does it say 13th if Shaik is, if all the karmas is Sadi,
Sadi Anant.
Anand, right? So
Yeah.
it has a beginning, but
No
not
end.
an,
Because
right, no
once you
end,
are into it, you don't go back.
right.
Because that's Purna Nashta Avastha, right? Shaik Bhav.
Yeah, because
Right.
it's either Arant or Siddh, like
Yeah.
Gunistan 13 and
Yeah.
14, right? So
But Shaik Bhav, did they not say in terms of Shaik Samyakto Bhav, fourth Gunistan? Point to the page where it has those Gunstans kaun se kisme kya hai. On this page 41, right? Shaik Bhav. No, वो तो संख्या वाली बात है. Where is the Gunstan mentioned? Arunji,
G.
can you point to where it says Shaik Bhav is only 13th and Gunstan
Gunistan
14th?
actually is not mentioned here. I sort of Google it, but it does say it includes Jiva with Shaik Samkitik, Shaik Charitra, and Arhans and Siddhas.
So
So
that is not
are
only
you saying
13th and 14th then.
some of these would belong to lower Gunistan
So
also?
Shaik Samkiti can be in fourth Gunstan also. So it's not just 13th and 14th. That is incorrect.
Okay. Okay. I think what I did is
So I think what they're saying is once you have Shaik Samkit or whatever, then the maximum you will stay in Sansar is 33 Sagar. or little more than that according to this.
No, Shayab Samik is 4 to 12. Shaik is only 13 and 14 according to ChatGPT. So maybe this statement is incorrect in the book because I pulled it from the book only. There are more individuals with Shaik.
Actually, by the way, they don't chat GPT can be incorrect, inaccurate also.
Yeah.
Because it only
I mean,
feeds from
they're both
whatever people are
possibilities, right?
putting in.
They're both
So it
possible.
doesn't have to be perfect. Right.
So either this could be wrong,
So
just flagging this could be wrong as well, or maybe this
right.
could be wrong. Anyway, we can park it and come back to it. How's that?
Yeah, Shaik Sankiti is also in Shaik Bhav. So what it's saying is that's the maximum it will stay. So let's say Adinath Bhagwan, right?
Ji.
How much he stayed after getting Keval Gyan?
Sorry?
Anybody knows how much lifespan he had after getting Keval Gyan?
I think it was 1,000 years. I seem to remember that.
I think 1,000 years to get to Keval Gyan, I think, no?
Not 1,000 years, but yeah, Sagaropam or something, whatever that measurement is. Yes. So what they're saying is after that, there is only so much lifespan you will have before going to moksha. Okay. All right. So now, yeah, continue. So I don't want to deviate too much before to let you
And there are
finish your
9
presentation.
subdivisions as mentioned on the slide, which they talk about. Going forward. So some more details about Shaik Samik Bhav. So, so the relevance of learning about Shaik Samik Bhav is because one needs to learn that Jiva has been associated with the impurity vikar since the time immemorial, yet it does not become insentient, or as in Hindi we say jada, right? So there is still hope. Atma state is partially a state of partially developed and partially subdued knowledge, belief, power, etc. Gyan, darshan, virya, etc. is the Kshaik Samik Bhav. There are more individuals with Kshaik Samik Bhav than Kshaik Bhav because it includes all jivs in first to 12th Gunistan. These are the characteristics of all worldly being, which is the word that is used, Chadmast, except Arhant from Gunistan 1 to 12. And it is Anadi Santa, without beginning and with end, in relation to Gyan, Darshan, and Virya. And Sadi Santa, with beginning, with an end, with a maximum duration of little more than 66 sagra from the view of manifestation of Dharma. So I've noted these 2 points, Prabhaji, but I didn't fully understand these 2 bullets. It was just regurgitation of facts. So it is Anadi Santa from one perspective and Sadi Santa from another perspective.
Anad Sant. It's not Santa, it's
Okay.
Sant. S
Anadi
A
Sant.
के ऊपर ये line है ना?
Yes,
So you
yes,
read
yes.
it as Sant. Okay. So Anadi Sant, right? Which means
Yes.
it was beginningless, but it has an end to it, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sorry, what did you say you didn't
It says
understand?
with respect to, it is Anadi Sant in relation to Gyan, Darshan, and Virya. That is a piece I didn't understand.
Right. So only those 3 attributes. It is in reference to those 3 attributes, it is Anadi Sant. But everything else can be Sadi Sant like that. That's what they're saying.
So why would
because
we say
Gyan,
Gyan, Darshan,
Kshayopshamik
and
means
Virya?
there is a division. So certain attributes of certain gun will be destroyed, others will be not destroyed. That's why it's called Kshayopshamik. That some will be destroyed, some will be suppressed,
So are we saying that Gyan, Darshan, and Virya will disappear after a
So
certain time?
no, Anadi, okay, Shayopshamik भाव में क्या होगा कि ज्ञान दर्शन और वीर्य की अपेक्षा से so they were not perfect from the beginning, right? Gyan was always there. Now, at some point, as you progress in your Gyan, that is what is called Kshayopsham. तो ज्ञान के certain parts उसका क्षय होगा जो ज्ञानावर्णीय कर्म का जो उदय होने वाला है वो उदय में नहीं आएगा उसको क्षय कह देते हैं. It's not like it's permanently destroying the karmas in this situation.
नहीं, दोनों हो रहा है, कुछ डिस्ट्रक्शन हो रहा है, कुछ
तो
suppress,
ज्ञान
right?
दर्शन वीर्य की
अच्छा,
I'm sorry?
नहीं, कुछ क्षय हो रहा है,
हाँ,
कुछ suppress हो रहा है.
तो क्या होगा? हाँ, तो ज्ञान दर्शन और वीर्य के जो एट्रीब्यूट्स हैं आत्मा के उनके जो आवरण वाले कर्म है दैट्स व्हाई वी कॉल देम ज्ञानावर्णीय दर्शन
जी
वर्णीय
जी जी जी.
तो वो अंतराय वीर्य का ऑपोजिट अंतराय.
So can we say, Prabhaji, that there is a
वो
limit
even
to
though we
what?
call it आवरण as if there's a covering, it's really not a covering. So there comes a point where it is, suppose आपके 1000 ज्ञानावर्णीय थे
जी.
उसमें से कुछ का क्षय हुआ
हम्म.
तो आपका ज्ञान उतने क्वांटिटी में खुला.
बढ़ गया.
ठीक है.
Fair enough, fair enough. So
हाँ,
I think what it
अब
means,
उसी में से
जो
कुछ
ज्ञान,
कर्म
दर्शन
का
and वीर्य,
उपशम हुआ
जी
अभी वो टेम्पररी दब गए.
जी.
और सादी शांत मतलब कि देर इज अ बिगिनिंग एंड देर इज एन एंडिंग. तो धर्म की प्रकट पर्याय की अपेक्षा से उत्कृष्ट 66 सागर के कुछ अधिक काल.
जी. Fair enough.
तो वहां क्या हुआ कि सर्टन तो एट अ सर्टन टाइम दे स्टार्ट एंड सर्टन टाइम दे विल एंड. तो धर्म की प्रकट पर्याय मतलब व्हेन यू आर गेटिंग सम्यक दर्शन तो 66 सागर से कुछ अधिक काल तक रहेगी.
Yeah.
ओके, कंटिन्यू.
So Advaik Bhav, so why it is important to understand? Because understanding the nature of Advaik Bhav reveals that despite the Jiva being without beginning and without end, pure and of conscious nature, it still experiences impure modifications, distortions, nature that we call vikara, right? There are more individuals with Advaik Bhav than Kshayak Samik Bhav because it includes all jivas in the first to 14th Gunistan. So this is something which I thought was probably incorrect because it says first to 14th somewhere. And I thought after 12th कर्म का उदय नहीं होगा, or maybe at least after 13th,
नहीं
because
नहीं 13 तक होगा ना.
13th
रिमेंबर वी
तक
सेड
होगा तो
अगाती का
14th
तो
नहीं हो
चल
सकता.
रहा है ना. दे हैव अ
14th
बॉडी.
में 14th में नहीं होगा ना. पर
हाँ,
I think it said somewhere first to 14th.
I guess they call it 14th is like a very small time when right before you leave the body. As soon as you leave the body, you're siddh.
Okay. So it says Advaik Bhav is experienced by all worldly beings, but not by liberated souls. It is Anadi Santa without beginning and with
Right, which is siddh. That's
yeah,
beyond 14th.
exactly. So Anadi Santa without beginning and with an end from the perspective of Bhavya Jiva, which is souls that are capable of liberations. So the souls that are capable of liberation, and that's how I understand it, will have an end to Advaik Bhav. The souls that are not capable of achieving,
Right.
which are abhave,
Not capable. Those liberated souls will have
yeah,
only parinamic bhav left.
Exactly. And that for them, Odaik Bhav will be without beginning and without an end. So they continuously will tend to experience Odaik Bhav, which is kind of scary though.
Right.
And there are 21 types of Odaik Bhavs.
No, wait, without.
So it basically says for the souls
Well, yeah, it's
above
also
the
scary
Jeeves.
for the above here
Sorry?
because if they don't reach the Siddha state, right, above Jeev will
Exactly.
never go to moksha. So they
Exactly.
will always have a Daik Bhav,
Yeah. So it will be
right?
Anadi Anand for them.
And the Jeev that goes to moksha, they have to destroy all the karma to be able to go to moksha. So then that is an end of
Yeah.
the Bhav or Daik Bhav.
All right. That's all I have on Panch Bhav. Hopefully it was somewhat liberating.
Okay, good job. And if the rest of the students think that the slideshow can help them,
Yeah, I
feel
can
free
post
to
it. I
share
can
it in
post
the
it.
group
Um,
because kind of the book has organized the information in a different way and you've kind of put it together in a
Yeah.
different way.
Just
So
from my
it's good.
cognition point of view, I said,
So which bhav do you want to?
sorry.
No,
This
that's good.
is a very complicated topic. So
Which bhav do
it's
you want
helpful,
to be?
Arun Bhai, that you put it in the PowerPoint.
Yeah, and that's exactly because as I was reading and
Yeah,
understanding, I was
that's
getting
why I
confused
said that.
myself.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, let me do this exercise. So
Uh-huh. And again, like I said, in the first few books, you will not understand all the details, even though they will gently mention certain things and they will not expand on it
Mhm.
in these books. And maybe it's done on purpose because if they give you too much information overload, then you cannot grasp it. So they kind of give you a broad view and then slowly you get into more details.
Exactly.
So okay. So what is the best bhav to be in? That is your first question.
Best bhav is parinamic bhav, I think, because that is your natural state of being.
Yes.
And if you can be in that
And
bhav,
why?
that it'll definitely lead to moksha.
Right. So that should be our goal.
Yeah.
Recognize that am I in my true being, true self?
Exactly. That's the true nature, right? And
Right.
that's
So then once you recognize that this is what is parinamic bhav, then everything else will become here. Koi aur bhav aa raha hai, there will be this mental rejection. No, that's not me. That's not me.
So does that mean parinamic bhav? Does that mean the
All right.
atma without any covering, no karma attached to it, is parinamic bhav?
Yes. No,
yes,
no.
that's actually your soul nature.
Dravya always has that parinamic bhav. Yes, that's the pure soul.
Pure
But
soul. Yeah.
right now we are not in that pure form in the paryaya. So we have all these other bhavs too, depending on which gunstan. Remember, gunstan is the current stage of the soul. And that's why they give you which gunstan has what bhav and all that. Okay. Your next question is, okay, what contributes to Kshaik Bhav?
I think Samyak Darshan, Samyak Gyan, Samyak Charitra, they will contribute to Shaik Bhav. Because knowing, having the right belief, having the right
Basically, right. But Kshaik Bhav, basically that particular kind of karmas to be completely destroyed is what causes the Kshaik Bhav. Right?
Right.
Now, the next question. first time when one gets Samyak Darshan, what bhav is it in?
I think first time once you get Samyak Darshan, it will be Opshamic Bhav, because that will lead to at least partial
Correct.
realization
That was
of
the question.
reality, and that will be the Opshamic Bhav.
It's really not partial realization, it is true realization, except that this just happens to be the way it is, that first time वो कर्म जो श्रद्धा गुण जो है उस complete, it's only suppressed.
Exactly.
Then it can be destroyed also, even in the same lifespan. But only first time it's suppressed. Okay. I guess I did ask you 3 questions. I'm just trying to see
Yes,
if
you
there's
did.
anything else.
If there are more, yeah, more welcome. Quite insightful questions, right?
Right. So, do we want Adaik Bhav?
I think it's probably the least desirable, because you were looking for destruction of the karma, not rising of the karma. So I think it's probably the least desirable.
Mm. Right. So you don't want to take support of the Adaik Bhav. You want to take only support of the Parinamic Bhav.
Exactly.
Right. Okay, good. And then in English, you said there was some things that you're not sure if there are mistakes, if you want to point those out, or just maybe take pictures and put it in the group so we can figure out
Sure.
if there's an error, we'll
Okay.
send
I'll
it through.
try and do it. Sure.
All right. Okay, let's go to Dipali next.
I just had a one question. Sorry, I joined late here, but something came to my mind. Like, how is
Yeah.
this the bhav and karma related? Like, how, is it
Mhm.
when you're in a particular bhav, more karmas are built, and in a particular bhav, karmas get destroyed? How is that related?
It's the other way around. It's the
No. So they are completely related to karma. Yeah, go ahead, Arunji, if you want to answer.
I
That's
think what
fine.
I was trying to say, Prabhaji, is the bhav is not happening. Karma is not happening because of the bhav, right? You are in a particular bhav because of certain karmic
Mhm.
state of your soul, and each bhav is
Mhm.
describing particular state of evolution, or going up or going down in terms of your karmic evolution. So that's how I see it, not the other way around.
Right. So these bhavs are describing where the karma, what is the state of the karma? Are they in suppressed mode? Have they been destroyed? Are some in suppressed, some in destroyed, some in uday? So it's a combination of those basically.
Combination, right?
And then at which stage each of these happen.
So if
So the
bhav,
combination has been given these names as bhavs.
so if bhav results into karma, then how does the past karma affects the bhav? Like, does it affect the bhav or no?
No,
Like, if
again,
you
you're
have
getting
past
it wrong, I
karma, how
think.
will it
Okay.
affect the bhav?
Bhav is not
No. So
impacting the
we're
karma.
talking about
Your
three
karmic
separate
state.
bhavs. So this, go ahead.
Yeah. So again, I think the
Okay,
confusion
so
is
these panch bhav are explaining your karmic state, and you're getting confused with the bhav, like the thought we have कि मैं अच्छा सोच रहा हूँ कि बुरा शुभ भाव कर रहा हूँ. No, they're separate things.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
Dinesh, I'll send you the presentation also.
sure.
This
Appreciate
is
it.
actually state of the Atma based on his karmic evolution. It's not
Okay.
bhav, right? That's what it is.
Thank
So
you.
it is not leading, the bhav itself is not leading to karma. Your karmic state, wherever you are, is deciding what bhav your atma is in. That's how it is.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Dipali, your video is not on or something? Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a lag, Auntie, on your end. I don't know if anyone else is noticing it, but thoda freezing ho raha hai, thoda
I
lagging.
think my internet connection is not so stable.
Achha, theek.
I'm glad we could even do this today. Somehow we were having hard time even making phone calls. It was weird.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming a little lagged, so that's okay, but we're able to get it.
Would it help to turn the video off for people who don't need to be on video? Will it give you more bandwidth or?
I can turn my video off, but when I'm not
Yours
speaking,
and
it should not
speaker,
matter, right?
yours and
So
speaker's
let
video.
Dipali do.
So,
No, because if their internet is fine, you should be able to hear them well. Only mine will be a lag if my internet is not
yeah,
good.
we are able to hear everybody else except Prabhanti, you, but also it's okay. It's a tiny bit lag. It's fine.
Okay.
So should I start?
So go ahead, you start yours,
Yeah.
Dipali.
So the reason I chose this chapter, because
Yes.
first I thought when I was before I did this chapter, I didn't think much of it. I'm like, okay, it's one of those kind of Dev Stuti, same thing, Bhagwan ki Aradhana kyu karna hai, Chandan, Fool and all that. But when I actually learned this chapter, I thought this was interesting. So I changed it from Upadan Nidan to Nimit to this one. Anyways, Devagam
Okay.
Stotra. Devagam Stotra is also, it is done by Acharya Samat Bhadra in the 2nd century, and it is also called as Apta Mimamsa. And Apta Mimamsa, it provides what is Apta Mimamsa? So the word is broken down into two, Apta and Mimamsa. So Apta means Sache Dev. Apta jise Satyanisht, Pramanik,
Just for everybody else, it's chapter 9 of Tattva Gyan 2.
Oh, right. Sorry about that. Yes, Tattva
I'm
Gyan
just letting
Patmala
everybody know if they
2.
want to.
So you could, yes, if you want to get to your notes. So this one is, so Apta means जिसे सत्यनिष्ठ प्रामाणिक विश्वसनीय माना गया है, तत्व ज्ञान और मोक्ष मार्ग के ज्ञाता है, और तीर्थंकर और परमात्मा को आप्त माना गया है. और मीमांसा इसका मतलब है कि विश्लेषण, विवेचना या परीक्षण. Why do we study this ग्रंथ? So जो भ्रम और मिथ्या ज्ञान से मुक्त होकर सत्य और मोक्ष मार्ग को पहचाना, साधक को भरोसा देना कि किस ज्ञान पर भरोसा करना चाहिए और क्यों करना चाहिए. So basically, once you know that, you need to, and anything without analyzing speculation of the tattvas, it will not yield the desired result of moksha. Studying every day is mimamsa. So you are preparing grounds for samyak darshan. So everyday studying is you are analyzing the tattvas, whatever we have learned. Like we had learned today panch bhav, we have learned सात तत्वों की भूल, इन सबको अपने जीवन में एनालाइज करना, that is what mimamsa is, right? And we apply what apt भगवान सच्चे देव ने हमें दिया है, उसको अप्लाई करते रहेंगे तो ऑटोमेटिक हमको हमारा जिस्ट खुद ही समझ में आ जाएगा. So the first stotra is कि they're saying
पर actually there's another meaning which is Apta ki Mimamsa. Who is Apta, who I need to believe in.
right.
Okay, so uski यहाँ चर्चा है कि who is Apta, who is worth believing and why.
Right. And so this goes, and that's what I was getting to this stotra. So they say that, okay, we want to revere you, we want to believe in you, not because कि आपको देव, जो पहला स्तोत्र है अगर आप देखें कि देवागम स्तोत्र, आप so देवागम मन भयान, so basically they're saying कि okay, हम आपको इसलिए नहीं रेवर कर रहे हैं कि भगवान जो देवादि है वो आपको विजिट करते हैं, जैसे इंद्र आपकी उपस्थिति में आते हैं, आपको पंखा झूलते, इसलिए नहीं करते हैं हम, क्योंकि आपके पास आकाश गमन की योगिक सिद्धि है, आप आकाश गमन कर सकते हो. दैट इज ऑल्सो नॉट द रीजन वी आर एक्चुअली रिवरिंग और लिसनिंग टू यू. ये तो मायावी लोग भी कर सकते हैं, राइट? ये तो मायावी भी कर सकते हैं. दिस इज नॉट वाई वी आर थिंकिंग दैट आप महान हो. फिर उसके बाद में सेकंड श्लोक ये है कि हम इसलिए नहीं आपको रिवर कर रहे हैं कि आपका मतलब आपका इतना बॉडी और जो अंतरंग और बहिरंग है उसकी जो विशेषताएं है, ठीक है, वो मायावी लोगों में नहीं पाई जाती है, पर देवगण जो लोग हैं, देवता लोग, उनके शरीर देखिए आप, वो कितने अच्छे शरीर होते हैं, लाइक यू नो दे आर सच गुड लुकिंग. एंड दिस इज ऑल्सो नॉट वाई वी आर थिंकिंग दैट यू आर महान इन आवर परस्पेक्टिव. You have also given us आगम एंड धर्म तीर्थ को चलाने वाले. फिर द थर्ड स्तोत्र इज कि आपने हमें, हम इसलिए आपको रिवर नहीं कर रहे कि आपने हमें आगम दिए हैं, हमें धर्म तीर्थ को कैसे चलाना है उसका समझाया है. ये तो दूसरे शास्त्र के लोग भी करते हैं, बट दिस इज बिकॉज दैट देर इज नो विरोध. जो आपने दिया है दैट इज, इट इज आप्त है, दैट इज द ओनली करेक्ट ज्ञान. And I'm going based on what the stotras are saying, right? Everything is up to debate, but that's what the stotras are saying.
Sure.
Now, why do we pray to you is कि hey Bhagwan, you are great for two reasons. Because you are Vitragi and you are Sarvagya. You have shown, and you know when we take the examples कि हमें क्रिकेट सीखना है या कुछ सीखना है, तो हम किसको हमारा भगवान बनाते या इंस्पिरेशन बनाते? सचिन तेंदुलकर को. यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू टेक मी एज योर इंस्पिरेशन बिकॉज I've never played cricket. I don't know how to help you understand how to play cricket. So you're only going to go to people who have actually achieved this ज्ञान, right? So जो वितरागी हो गए, सर्वज्ञ हो गए, उन्हीं को हम मार्गदर्शक मानना चाहिए. So this is one of the reasons that we think that we think that you are the correct authoritative to part this knowledge as you have achieved it yourself. In this sequence, one can win over moha rag dvesh adi ज्ञानावर्णीय आवरणों का संपूर्ण अभाव संभव है. You have shown our atma is pure as well as, but since anadi it found with karma and kashay, just like gold in the mine is mixed with other metals impurities, it can shine only when you process under fire. Same way atma has to consider oneself pure, and applying dhyan you can end all doshas. And this is how we can achieve vitrag and sarvagyata. And it is possible as you have shown that you have done this. So that is the fourth shloka. Then the fifth one is, as like, you know, so now we are going into other ways how and why we believe it. So just say, like, you know, we believe in gravitational force, right? We believe in North Pole, we believe in South Pole, we believe in atoms, particles. I'm going to say, has anyone seen gravitational force? No, but we believe. We are not going to drop, you know, like, you know, a beautiful glass or, you know, window from the top because we know that it is going to break. Why? Like, we haven't seen gravitational force, but we believe in it. So ये अनुमान से जानते हैं, right? So for example, यहाँ पे ये भी दिया है कि हम दूर से धुआं देखकर यह अनुमान लगाते हैं कि कहीं पर अग्नि होगी. और अब हम तो दूर है, धुआं बाहर से देख रहे हैं, वहां पे अग्नि है, ये हमें अंदाज अनुमान से मालूम पड़ रहा है. पर कोई वहां पर नजदीक होगा, वो 100% हमें फोन करके बोल सकता है कि नहीं नहीं, यहाँ पर मत आओ, यहाँ पे तो 100% आग है, आप यहाँ पर मत आओ. सो ही इज द सर्वज्ञ इन दैट सेंस फॉर दैट आग के लिए. सो इन द सेम फैशन कि यहाँ पे ये लिखा है कि इस प्रकार धुआं जिसे दिखता है वह अग्नि का अनुमान लगाने वाला सामान्य और अग्नि के नजदीक जो खड़ा है वो दावे के साथ बोल सकता है यही अग्नि यही सर्वज्ञ है. अगर हम आप अग्नि के नजदीक हम भी चले जाए तो हम भी दावे के साथ कह सकते हैं. और इसी तरीके से जैसे भगवान ने वितरागी और सर्वज्ञता का रास्ता चुना है और वहां पहुंचे हैं, हम भी वो रास्ते पे चलते हैं तो वी विल ऑल्सो रीच दिस सर्वज्ञ और बन सकते हैं. देन द सिक्स्थ श्लोका इज कि तीर्थंकर की जो वाणी है वो तर्क मतलब लॉजिक है और शास्त्र जो है वो संगत और समर्थित है. आपकी वाणी में जो अनुमान उपमान आगम आदि So they can be proved, right? These things can be proved because they're all logical. आपकी वाणी अविरोधी है. So what it means by अविरोधी here is that is इसका कोई टकराव नहीं है जो विवाद उत्पन्न नहीं कर सकता है. So it does not create any contradictions because of all the, if you study it properly, there's no contradictions to these things, and that's why we pray to you, or we hold you as our inspiration. The next one is, Hey Bhagwan, your Jinvani bears the signature or stamp of Anekantvad, Syadvad, Saptabhangi, Nayavad, Vipaksh आदि से पृथक है. एकांतवाद contradicts themselves. वे स्वयं को विरोध करते हैं. So एकांतवाद नहीं है आपकी वाणी तो अनेकांतवाद है, स्यादवाद है, सप्तभंगी है, नयवाद है, and all these kind of things. So that's why there is a reason why we pray and revert to you. Now the next one, it goes into एकांतवाद में थोड़ा डिटेल में. जो लोग एकांत, एक ही पक्ष को पूर्ण सत्य मानते हैं, बाकी सभी पक्षों को अस्वीकार कर देते हैं, उसे एकांतवाद कहते हैं. यह दृष्टि अपूर्ण मानी जाती है क्योंकि वस्तु के अनेक गुण और अनेक पक्ष होते हैं. कहना कि आत्मा केवल नित्य है वह एकांत नित्यवाद है, और कहना कि आत्मा अनित्य है यह भी एकांत अनित्यवाद है. जबकि आत्मा द्रव्य की दृष्टि से नित्य है, विच इज फॉर एवर, और पर्याय की दृष्टि से अनित्य है, एवर चेंजिंग. एकांत आंशिक सत्य को ही पूर्ण सत्य ज्ञान मानता है. एकांतवादी लोग स्वयं भी मिसगाइडेड होते हैं और दूसरों को भी मिसगाइड करते हैं. And I'm basically translating these shlokas in the simple language. That's what I'm doing. वे स्व और पर दोनों के शत्रु हैं क्योंकि उनके मत में शुभाशुभ कर्म एवं परलोक आदि कुछ व्यवस्थित सिद्ध नहीं होता है. The 9th shloka, which is talking about Padartha ka. Now this is where the real philosophy starts coming, because अभी तक हम यही बोल रहे थे कि किसे मानना किसे नहीं मानना चाहिए, but from here it starts कि okay, why it is important. So पदार्थों का सर्वथा सद्भाव. So what does that mean? It means किसी वस्तु का हर समय हर प्रकार से हर अवस्था में होना, यह मत अस्वीकार्य है क्योंकि इस प्रकार से सदा विद्यमान हो वो उत्पत्ति संभव नहीं है, नाश संभव नहीं है, परिवर्तन संभव नहीं है. सो अगर ऐसा हम माने कि नथिंग कैन चेंज, यह अभाव का अभाव है. बेसिकली दिस इज डिस्ट्रक्शन का डिस्ट्रक्शन हो जाएगा. कोई बच्चा है तो वो सदैव बच्चा ही रहेगा, कोई परिवर्तन न होगा. इस प्रकार अभावों को नहीं मानने से सब पदार्थ सर्वात्मक, जो सबका ही स्वरूप हो या जिसमें सब कुछ समाहित हो, यह मत भी अस्वीकार्य है. So basically they're saying that why all these things are not acceptable. यदि ये भी कहा जाए कि everything is सर्वात्मक, then एक द्रव्य सर्वात्मक है, जो परिणाम यह होगा आत्मा में ही पुद्गल का रूप रंग गंध आ जाएंगे, right? So everything will get mixed up, and then तब कर्म बंधन मोक्ष का भेद असंभव हो जाएगा. जबकि जैन दर्शन द्रव्यों का भेद स्वीकार करता है. जीव, अजीव, पुद्गल, अधर्म, आकाश, काल, ये सब मिक्स हो जाएंगे. सो दैट्स व्हाई these two things कि सर्वात और सद्भाव is not the correct way. The next one, the 10th one is the प्राग भाव का अभाव. मतलब the same example we could give कि बच्चा, अगर अब प्राग भाव हम करते हैं तो बच्चा बच्चा ही रहेगा, दूध सदैव दूध रहेगा. प्रागध्वंस का अभाव, अगर हम यह नहीं करते हैं तो दूध कभी भी दही में परिवर्तन नहीं हो सकता है, राइट? सो दैट, एंड देन अन्योन्य भाव को नहीं मानेंगे. दो वस्तुओं का परस्पर एक दूसरे का न होना. संक्षिप्त और स्पष्ट अंतर, जैसे दूध अलग है, दही अलग है, ये सारी पर्याय अलग अलग है, राइट? सो दैट इज व्हाट अन्योन्य भाव है. एंड भाव का, नाउ द नेक्स्ट वन इज भाव का अभाव भी सापेक्ष है. सापेक्ष मीन्स किसी की अपेक्षा से. सो रिलेटिविटी, दे आर शोइंग हियर रिलेटिविटी, राइट? द्रव्य का सर्वथा नाश नहीं होता. अगर हम माने भाव का सर्वथा अभाव माने तो जैन दर्शन के मूल सिद्धांत का खंडन होगा. यदि शरीर भाव के नाश के साथ जीव भाव का भी सर्वथा अभाव हो तो फिर पूर्ण जन्म असंभव हो जाएगा, मोक्ष असंभव हो जाएगा. यदि दीपक बुझ गया तो फिर प्रकाश का सर्वथा अभाव मान ले तो उसे फिर जलाना असंभव हो जाएगा. So that is why भाव का अभाव भी हम नहीं मान सकते हैं. So these are the siddhants that the Paramatma Tirthankar had given us. And these are the reasons we consider them to be Mahan. Because, and they are just proving how these things cannot be true. So you cannot go based on Anekantvad. You cannot think that there is Sarvatmak Bhav. You cannot say that there is. So these are the things. And then the other ones are Bhavkant. किसी भी अपेक्षा से वस्तु का अस्तित्व स्वीकार करना, यह है. जैसे घड़ा मिट्टी के रूप में है, तो अब अगर हम ये माने तो फिर घड़ा घड़ा ही रहेगा हमेशा. राइट, सो दैट इज नॉट राइट. उभयकांत, जब एक ही वस्तु के विषय में भाव और अभाव दोनों एक साथ साथ परंतु भिन्न भिन्न है. राइट, सो जैसे व्यक्ति पुत्र भी है पर पिता उस टाइम पे पिता नहीं है. सो दैट इज व्हाट उभयकांत इज. एंड द अदर वन इज अवाच्यकांत, which means जो कहा नहीं जा सकता है, शब्दों में पूरी तरह व्यक्त नहीं किया जा सकता है. जब किसी वस्तु की अवस्था ऐसी हो, न केवल है कहा जा सके न केवल नहीं है. सो इन दिस वन द एग्जांपल इज, घड़ा टूटने के क्षण में न पूरा घड़ा है न केवल मिट्टी है. यू कैन नॉट एक्सप्लेन दैट स्टेज. तो आप घड़ा बोल सकते हो पर एक बार मिट्टी भी बोल सकते हो, बट व्हाइल इट इज ब्रेकिंग, व्हाट इज दैट? दैट कैन नॉट बी एक्सप्लेन. सो दिस इज व्हाई not everything could be, not everything is expressible, basically. That's the point here. And the other one is, then we are talking, then the last one there, not the last one, but the last but one, they're talking about syad asti, syad nasti, syad asti nasti, syad asti avaktavya, and syad asti avaktavya, syad asti avaktavya, and syad asti nasti avaktavya. सो इसमें भी एग्जाम्पल दिए हैं कि जैसे फॉर एग्जाम्पल स्याद अस्ति है, क्रोध पर्याय रूप से है. अगर स्याद नास्ति, क्रोध द्रव्य रूप से नहीं है. स्याद अस्ति नास्ति पर्याय में स्वरूप में नहीं है. स्याद अवक्तव्य क्षण क्षण बदल रहा है. एंड स्याद अस्ति अवक्तव्य है पर स्थिर नहीं है. और स्याद नास्ति अवक्तव्य स्वरूप में नहीं, इसलिए कहा नहीं जा सकता. And last one is syad asti nasti avaktavya, purna sapeksh sarth hai. So these are the points why we revere, because you have given us these fundamental things to hold on and go and apply these things, analyze them, and get samyak darshan, samyak gyan, and samyak charitra. So these are the reasons why we pray to you and revere to you.
Okay. And the last one, you haven't covered the
Swarup?
15th and 16th, right?
Yes, yeah. So Swarup
Chatushtay and
yeah, I can cover that also. So Swarup उसके चार मूल बताए गए हैं basically, right? So इन्हें ही स्वरूप चतुष्ट कहा जाता है. जैसे द्रव्य गुण, पर्याय, लक्षण, उपयोग, and जैसे जानना देखना, and nature of any substance. We see them with four ways, right? So swadravya, swakshetra, swakal, or swabhav. So those, and then, you know, जैसे all those things, then basically द्रव्य, क्षेत्र, काल, भाव, ये सारे different है, right? And the last one is, again, I think the last one is also talking about this syad asti and this syad nasti and all those concepts that I had explained just a little bit earlier. The 16th one.
Okay, good. So where did you get the examples from? Did you consult another book? Because they are not in this book.
I was actually, so I was looking at...
Saptabhangi ka Krodh ka example.
Right. So I was listening to some lectures, but I was also referring to some chat GPT terminology as well. So I was kind of trying to understand, because not all these words I understand. So what I do is, as I mentioned earlier, I do refer to some lectures on these particular topics, And then even in those topics, if I don't understand, then I just
Mhm.
take that word and go to Chat GPT and and just get the meanings of those words. So then Chat GPT actually does help me quite a bit in understanding the examples. So that's how I have taken and made these notes. So
Good,
this is a
good, good,
combination
good.
of multiple sources, I would say.
Very good. Very good. You've done a good job, except for the last two, which you didn't go into details, but that's okay. So first question I'll ask you about the anekant and ekant. ठीक है? तो what is the thought there, right? So we are explaining, पहले तीन में तो बता दिया हम क्यों नहीं आपको why we don't worship you, right? Those are, we are not uh, to us those outside things don't matter, right? Then they start beginning why we worship you and how you are different, right? Or we will notice that a lot of these principles either are not in other philosophies or in partial way,
Right.
not in a complete sense,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
जैसे वो पर्याय और द्रव्य का बताया, तो बौद्ध धर्म does not believe in permanence of the soul. To
Right.
it, everything is temporary, right? It only
Right.
talks about the basically paryaya. And so same way, other philosophies have the problem of Bhagwan being the doer of the world or creator
Yes.
of the world and all those things.
Right.
So which can be contradicted. Whereas Vitragi Vani is not contradictory.
Right.
And why it is? So वो अनेकांत और एकांत से कैसे आप समझोगे बताओ?
So basically, I mean, I say if you take a cube, right, and I'm holding the cube, and you are looking at the red color, and I'm looking at yellow, and Dinesh is looking from here, yeah, maybe blue. So अगर हम ये बोले कि मैं देख रही हूँ जो the red color is the right color, but you will say no, that's wrong. So if we are trying to explain it to Arun Bhai, let's say if Arun Bhai is taking a look and he has he can see the whole thing, right? If Arun Bhai is able to see the cube on all sides, and he will
Right.
say, like, it would be hard to explain to other people that this is only red, this is only yellow, this is only that. But a Sarvagya who has Anekantvad, he says, no, this is yellow, this is red, this is blue, this is all these colors. So having that Anekantvad helps you understand multidimensional truth about, and also truth is said in a relativity. It could be said like, कि जैसे यहाँ पे एग्जाम्पल दिया कि आत्मा जैसे नित्य है, राइट, पर दैट इज रिलेटेड टू द्रव्य. अगर द्रव्य से देखा जाए तो यस, आत्मा फॉर्म वही है, कभी चेंज नहीं होगा, अनादिकाल से उसका स्वभाव वही है. पर अगर आप उसको पर्याय की दृष्टि से देखें तो आत्मा मतलब उसका रोल चेंज हो रहा है. जो आज हमारा आज ये ज्ञान है, अब थोड़ा सा आवरण हमारा निकल रहा है, तो हमारी पर्याय चेंज हो रही है. सो उसके रिलेटिव से देखेंगे, अगर उसके सापेक्ष से देखेंगे, तो आत्मा इज चेंजिंग इन अ वे. Atma is not changing, the Gyan is changing in that. So that is where I feel the Ekantvad and Anekantvad is applied. And Anekantvad helps you understand multi dimensions of a single Dravya instead of just one way of
Right.
knowing the
So
truth.
basically यहाँ क्या बताया कि भगवान, right, जैसे आपने अरुण का एग्जांपल दिया कि he is able to see the whole thing, right? So भगवान can see all aspects of the truth and be able to say with this perspective, from west side the cube is green, from east side the cube is blue. He can give the perspective, apeksha. And if you go back to the elephant example,
Yeah.
right? If the blind people, when they discuss the elephant, there's always controversies.
Yeah.
There will be arguments that no, elephant is like a rope, or elephant is like a wall. Versus person who can see there will be no controversy. He will be able to say that the elephant is like a wall in relation to its body, right?
Right. Yeah.
And then it is like something else in relation to the trunk.
Right.
So, Bhagwan, you are that person who can see, or the Sarvagya who has experienced it all and is able to tell us with what perspective the truth is. Truth is one, but it has lot of facets.
Correct. Depending on what point of view you're trying to explain.
उस तरह का ज्ञान सिर्फ भगवान आपने हमें दिया है।
Right.
वो हमें और कहीं इतना डिटेल में नहीं मिला, इसलिए हम आपको वर्शिप करते हैं।
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, I mean, other philosophies will have similar things, but not in as much completeness as
And
you.
depth.
Because only Sarvagya, who has can see all the way from minutest of microscopic things to all the way the whole Brahmand, can show you the path with all different perspectives and, you know, make you understand the Vastusthiti.
Right.
And
Yes.
no one else can. If anybody has only seen partial, they can only talk about that.
Right.
Okay. Now, your second question about the bhav and abhav, right? So why did they mention about this?
Bhav ka bhav. Is that what you mean? Bhav ka bhav, auntie?
हाँ. So वो जो ninth है ना, हाँ, why did they mention this?
9th wala या 12th wala? Because bhav ka abhav is in the 12th one.
नहीं, भाव और अभाव, सद्भाव और अभाव की बात
Oh,
जहाँ है।
okay. So that's the 9th one then. Right? So basically, why they had mentioned is that destruction का destruction, basically अगर आप भाव का अभाव ही नहीं मानोगे, तो nothing is going to change. Basically, everything will stay as it is. So कोई उत्पत्ति संभव नहीं है, कोई नाश संभव नहीं है, कोई परिवर्तन संभव नहीं है, कुछ भी संभव नहीं है. So if you consider भाव का भाव, all these things will not happen. जैसे as I gave an example कि बच्चा सदैव बच्चा ही रहेगा, उसमें कोई परिवर्तन ही नहीं आएगा, right? So भाव का अभाव, we cannot accept that philosophy कि भाव का अभाव होना जरूरी है. Only then कि कोई किसी की उत्पत्ति होगी, जैसे हम जन्म होगा हमारा बचपना से हम जवानी में, and फिर बूढ़े हो जाएंगे.
Actually, in the 9th, it is not bhav ka abhav, it is sadbhav. If you always think that things are existing versus abhav होना.
हाँ,
तो जो
सर्वथा
4
सद्भाव.
अभाव हमने पढ़े थे ना, उसकी इम्पोर्टेंट. So you would think that, okay, like try to understand existence, but why do you want to understand non-existing? So they are saying कि अरे हे भगवान, आपने अभाव की भी बात करी. So we understand the complete logic of this world.
Right.
So इसीलिए उनको महिमा आ रही है कि oh, so nice that we are able to learn abhav also, which is critical, even though it does not appear to be so important, but it is important, because if we don't understand the abhav, which was the prag bhav, pradvansa bhav and all that, बाद में जो डिटेल में बताया ना, उसका हर एक अभाव या भाव क्या समझने का क्या प्रयोजन है. तो ये भी हमें आपकी वाणी में से ही सीखने को मिला.
Yeah.
So the author is explaining the wow factor of what are the things that I learned, which I would not have otherwise learned anywhere else. And that is why I have so much reverence towards the Sarvagya Vitragi Bhagwan.
Right, yes. And यहाँ पे यह पृथक स्वरूप न माना जाए तो जीव अजीव का भेद मिट जाएगा, basically, right?
Right. क्योंकि basically they explain to you कि जीव एंड पुद्गल आर टोटली सेपरेट, दे नेवर मिक्स।
Yeah.
अगर ये फिलॉसफी, ये प्रिंसिपल नहीं समझोगे तो देन लाइक वी हैव ऑलवेज डन फॉर फ्रॉम अनादि कि शरीर और आत्मा को हमने एक ही समझ रखा है।
Right.
इसके पहले अगर चींटी थे तो चींटी को थोड़ी मालूम है मेरा आत्मा अलग है, राइट? तो वो
बराबर।
कभी होगा ही नहीं अगर हम मनुष्य पर्याय में नहीं आते, हम भगवान की जिनवाणी नहीं सुनते समझते, तो हमें ये कभी पता ही नहीं चलता।
Right.
ओके, अब ये I think you did a good job on this, covering the Bhavekanta, and Ubhayakanta, and then also the Saptabhangi. Okay, now Swadravya Kshetrakal versus Pardravya. So what is your understanding of that?
Swadravya, is that the 15th, auntie?
Yes.
So, well, so basically, what I understand from that one is कि कोई भी स्वरूप उसके 4 मूल बताए गए हैं, राइट? और इन्हीं स्वरूप को चतुष्ट भी कहा गया है। So we see them with 4 ways, जैसे स्वद्रव्य, स्वक्षेत्र, स्वकाल और स्वभाव। द्रव्य जैसे किसी की शादी है, क्षेत्र is venue, काल is date and time, and स्वभाव is relation with the invitee. द्रव्य is वस्तु सामान्य विशेषात्मक, general and particular. क्षेत्र is भेदा भेद, differences and distinctions. काल is nitya anitya, permanence and impermanence. For example, parmanu and molecular form. And bhav is ek anek, one and many. And द्रव्यांश जैसे गोल्ड ऑर्नामेंट्स है, सामान्य हो गया, एंड गोल्ड के जो बैंगल्स एंड नेकलेस वगैरह है वो विशेष हो गया. So this is what I understand from स्वरूप and its चार मूल जो है.
No, well, you're going into the Saptabhangi, that bhang of those things, but no. So here what it is trying to tell you is कि देखो स्वरूप चतुष्ट है, मतलब everybody soul has its own swadravya, kshetra, kal and bhav.
Right.
So two dravyas will never have the kshetra, kal dravya. So let's say even you and Dinesh, right? For whatever is happening to you is going to happen in your own dravya, kshetra, kal, bhav.
Right.
Whatever is happening to Dinesh, he is par for you.
Right.
For you, Dinesh's dravya, kshetra, kal, bhav is par bhav, par kshetra, par kal. So that is the difference they're talking about in this 15th shloka.
राइट राइट. सो प्रत्येक द्रव्य अपने स्वचतुष्ट में विराजमान है, पर में कभी गया ही नहीं.
गया ही नहीं.
हाँ.
तो उसका क्षेत्र कभी मेरा हुआ ही नहीं.
या
Same thing with my body and soul. They never make. They were always in their own space.
राइट राइट.
So आत्मा की पर्याय अलग चल रही थी, पुद्गल की भी पर्याय अलग चल रही है. तो they both, even the jeev and the pudgal, have their own swakshetra, swakal, swabhav and all that. So for jeev, जो पुद्गल का जो भी क्षेत्र काल स्व, that is a par, it has nothing to do with it. तो वो आपको भिन्नता समझाने के लिए यहाँ वो बात की गई है.
करेक्ट. या सो पर में कभी गया ही नहीं तो वितरागता होती है और भेद विज्ञान होता है और तभी केवल ज्ञान की तैयारी होती है.
Right.
Right.
So that is why, so they are trying to make you understand that you, otherwise if you don't understand, you will not understand that abhav, कि मेरे में इस शरीर का टोटल अभाव है.
Right.
It has its own everything. I have my own dravya kshetra kal bhav, and the body has its own.
Yeah, I have also written this one note. I don't know if you think it is correct. My understanding here is कि सामान्य और विशेष जो है, right? So सामान्य को देखोगे तो मोक्ष मार्ग है. So difficult है, but it is not impossible. और विशेष को देखोगे तो राग द्वेष है. easy to follow but not impossible to leave. जैसे आटा सामान्य है, पर उसका जो आप उसका रोटी बनाओ या फिर उसका सीरा बनाओ, कुछ भी बनाओ, वो विशेष रूप हो गया, राइट? पर आटा, if you take it just आटे को आटा ही समझो, तो then it is easy to go to, it's basically even applying to all humans या फिर all जीव, कि जीव जीव ही है
Yeah,
ना?
so if ultimately you want to apply to Jeev.
Right.
I'm
So
Jeev, right?
right.
Even though I'm in Manushya Paryay right now.
Right.
But this is Vishesh of me.
Yeah,
My current moment, I am in the Manushya Paryay.
correct.
Okay, but if I don't pay attention to the Vishesh, which is Paryay,
Yeah,
then I go towards the Samanya Jeev. Then that is who I am.
right, right. And
The
उसी को
Paryay will
मतलब
keep changing.
राइट, एक बार मैं कभी कीड़ा रहूंगा, कभी ये है, पर ठीक है, वो जो है वो है,
तो
वो
अगर
होने
मैं उस
वाला है।
विशेष पे ही ध्यान देता रहा, जब तक
Right.
समझ नहीं है, समझने के लिए, yes, I will pay attention to the Vishesh.
Yeah,
Once I've understood the concepts, then I want to focus on the Samanya.
correct. Yeah. So मोक्ष मार्ग को सामान्य को देखोगे तो मोक्ष मार्ग है।
Hmm.
Right. Oh, so that's correct note then what I made here.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
That's what it means. Okay, very good. So, yeah, I guess it does take time. So we'll have to wait for those. And 3 people are still left, right? Amit,
Bahubali ji,
Bahubali ji, and I did
Dinesh
Viraj
Burad.
do his.
Viraj
Yeah,
did it.
and
He did his
Dinesh
last- he-
Burad.
no, he did
Oh,
his last
Dinesh
one.
did it. Okay.
Dinesh has
Dinesh
done it.
did it. I don't know if Viraj did it that day.
No, Viraj is left also. So
No, Viraj is left. I did mine.
He said, Virat said he will be doing the next Wednesday, I think.
Okay. So we will have a class. So all 3 will do a next class. And and just because it's not your Gandhar, still try to attend.
Yes.
Will benefit from other people's Gandhars also.
Yeah.
And again, same thing goes for you, Dipali. If you want to share your notes in the group for others' benefit, totally up
Be
to
very
you.
helpful.
So yeah.
Yeah. Arun bhai, I do have to say the Panch Bhav was a difficult chapter. I have a lot of notes, but then at the end I left that chapter. I'm like, okay, ये मेरे दिमाग से बहुत ऊपर जा रहा है, you know. So that's a difficult
Okay,
chapter to cover.
I don't think पांच भाव is something to be stressed about.
Hmm.
इसका सिर्फ इतना ही है कि आप अपने पारिणामिक भाव पे फोकस करने योग्य है, बाकी सब भाव चलते रहेंगे as you progress. That
Correct.
is really the gist of it.
Right, right. Yeah.
Even though they give you all those details, which is just good to know. It's not something to worry about कि मुझे ये छोड़ना ही, वो अपने आप छूट जाएगा when you
Correct.
focus on Atma.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they are just, even though in the chapter they tell you कि ये है ये उपादेय है, but still the gist is that focusing on parinamic bhav.
Yeah.
So and everything else, जैसे मैंने कहा ना, कर्णानुयोग की जो डिटेलिंग की बातें होती है, वो मोस्टली जानने योग्य होती है, और उसका पर्पस होता है टू गेट दैट वाव फैक्टर कि अरे मतलब केवल ज्ञान में कितनी डिटेल की बातें आ गई है. Think,
Yes.
right? It's not just the atoms and the universe and minuscule to big picture, but the भावों की भी डिटेलिंग भगवान के ज्ञान में आई.
Yeah.
वो महिमा बढ़ाने के लिए कर्णानुयोग सीखना जरूरी है. बट कर्णानुयोग may or may not always be applied or experimented with, whereas Dravyanuyog is.
Right. Yeah.
So,
So,
Prabhaji, I forgot to mention the He and Upadhyaya piece of it. That was towards the end. So, as per my reading, Odaik Bhav is He,
mhm,
Parinamic is Supreme Upadhyaya, as the text says,
mhm.
and the other 3 are Upadhyaya.
Right. I had already asked you that question in your thing. Remember, I said कि आपको क्या करना चाहिए? So that's what I was hinting. You did not cover it, so I asked you the question about it. So it's okay, कोई बात नहीं. All right. So good job, all of you. Very good. Excellent.
Thank you.
Okay. सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप. सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप, सहजानंदी शुद्ध स्वरूपी। अविनाशी हूँ आत्म स्वरूप, निज निधि निज में बताई, यह अनंत उपकार है। इसके लिए जिन वाणी माँ को वंदना शत बार है, वंदना शत बार है। जय जिनेन्द्र।
Jai
Jai
Jinendra.
Jai
Jinendra.
Jinendra, everyone.
As we
Jai.
say this Shinwani also, every time I say this, I get Mahima of how we are able to learn the nature of things through the Jinvani Ma, right?